Franco Colapinto has recently been the subject of intense speculation about a potential move to Alpine, despite the fact that he missed out on securing a spot for 2025. While many believe that Alpine's driver lineup was set for the foreseeable future, things are now up in the air. Colapinto has been a standout, with reports indicating that he's made the most impact on the car, despite having fewer races than some other drivers, especially rookies. But does this make him the right choice for Alpine? And under what circumstances might they pursue this young Argentinian talent? What we do know is that Colapinto has captured the attention of many in the F1 world. After filling in for Logan Sargent and securing 5 points in 2024, his reputation has skyrocketed. This success has led to him being linked with several teams, including Red Bull, who were reportedly considering pairing him with Max Verstappen. However, Red Bull's interest quickly faded, and now the question is, how will Colapinto measure up when the driver market reopens in 2026? Alpine is one of the teams that has expressed significant interest in Colapinto. While some doubt whether Alpine can truly unlock his potential and take him to the next level, we shouldn't overlook their recent performance. Just a few races ago, they managed to leap from 9th to 6th in the Constructors' Championship. This improvement not only boosted their points total, but also added around $30 million in prize money. This shows that Alpine is gearing up to compete at a higher level in the near future. The main pillar of their project is Pierre Gasly, whose outstanding performance in 2024, finishing the season with 0 damage to his car, has been unmatched by any other driver on the grid. However, Alpine will still need a reliable second driver to help them challenge for wins and podiums. While there's some buzz around the potential of Australian driver Duhan, who's hoping to prove his strength in Formula 2 can translate to F1, there's no denying that Colapinto has caught their eye as well. Interestingly, Alpine may already have a backup plan for the 2026 season. According to rumors, Duhan has been given a 5-race contract with Alpine, which is why they were so eager to give him a chance during the Abu Dhabi tests. This move could be a key step in ensuring he adapts to the team and machinery as smoothly as possible. However, this also puts Colapinto in a critical position to secure a permanent spot in the team for 2026, especially considering Alpine's plans to become a Mercedes-powered team. Flavio Briatore, the team's executive advisor, has spoken about Colapinto in the past, and while he remains cautious about committing to a long-term deal, he hasn't ruled out the possibility of bringing the young Argentine driver on board. Briatore, who has a reputation for being a no-nonsense figure in F1, acknowledged that Colapinto surprised many with his performance. But, as Briatore also pointed out, Alpine is already committed to Gasly, Duhan, and their reserve driver, Paul Aron, for next season. If an opportunity arises for Colapinto in 2026, he would need to prove his worth even more. For Colapinto, this situation with Alpine could be a double-edged sword. On one hand, the backing from Williams, his current team, shows their commitment to securing a seat for him, even if it means dealing with the occasional crash-related damage. Despite having only 9 races under his belt, Colapinto has already accumulated around €5 million worth of damage to the car. This includes 5 front wings, 6 front suspensions, and 3 chassis components, among other parts. While this certainly raised concerns at Williams, it's important to note that these early mistakes haven't overshadowed his potential. Alpine, on the other hand, would have to carefully assess whether the young driver's enthusiasm and raw speed are worth the risk. In his limited time on the grid, Colapinto has shown flashes of brilliance, but his mistakes, while not catastrophic, could still cost a team like Alpine dearly, especially as they look to climb up the rankings. However, Briatore isn't easily swayed by hype. He's always been cautious when it comes to evaluating new drivers. According to him, it's easy to get carried away after a good race, but the true test is consistency over time. Briatore also made it clear that while Colapinto's recent performances have made him an intriguing option, Alpine has to be strategic about their decisions. Driver prices can skyrocket quickly after just 1 or 2 good races. He remarked, highlighting the challenge of assessing talent in Formula 1. This is especially true now, with more young drivers emerging from Formula 2 and 3, making the competition for seats tougher than ever. Briatore mentioned that Alpine will focus on nurturing the best prospects within their academy rather than jumping on every promising name that appears on the radar. At the same time, Colapinto's rise could be both a blessing and a curse. His early success has made him more valuable, but it also means that any future mistakes could be magnified. Alpine would need to weigh these factors carefully when considering him for a long-term deal. For Colapinto, it's clear that his time to capitalize on his momentum is running out. If he's not able to secure a seat soon, there's a real risk he could be remembered more for the damage he caused than the points he scored in 2024. Colapinto, however, remains hopeful about his future. Despite the slim chances of securing a 2025 seat, especially after Red Bull's interest evaporated, he hasn't given up on his dream of racing at the highest level. "I really want to be racing, and I want to stay active in the paddock," he said, showing his determination. Even though his 2025 options are limited, Colapinto remains optimistic about the 2026 and 2027 seasons, hoping to prove his worth and show that he deserves a spot on the grid. If he can't find a seat for 2025, he's prepared to wait, but he knows he must make the most of any opportunity that comes his way. Briatore, meanwhile, has a clear vision for Alpine's future. With the team set to switch to Mercedes engines and gearboxes for 2026, Alpine is positioning itself to compete for race wins and podiums in the new era of F1. Briatore believes that this strategic move will help Alpine close the gap to top teams like Red Bull and Ferrari. "In 2026, we want to be on the podium in at least 50% of the races," he stated confidently. "By 2027, we should be competing for the title." Alpine's plans for the future don't just rest on their new engine partnership with Mercedes. Briatore also pointed out that the team is preparing to fight for a top spot from the very beginning of the 2026 season, aiming for podium finishes and even race wins. With the major changes in regulations coming up, Alpine will have a great opportunity to make a leap forward. Briatore is confident that with the new engines, the team will have the resources to compete on equal terms with the likes of Red Bull and Ferrari. However, the road to the top won't be easy. Red Bull, for example, is entering the new era with their own powertrain, while Honda and Aston Martin are also building strong partnerships to challenge for dominance. Alpine must continue to improve their car, especially aerodynamically, to ensure they remain competitive. Briatore is optimistic, but he's clear that the team needs to continue evolving in every aspect of their operation. As the team prepares for the future, Briatore believes that Alpine's progress in 2025 will set the stage for their championship push in 2027. By securing better results and focusing on the new regulations, Alpine will be positioned to challenge the front-runners. "We've made a big step forward," Briatore said, "and with Mercedes engines, we're ready to compete at a higher level in 2026. The team is focused on maintaining a steady trajectory, improving their car's performance, and making the most of their new partnership." As for Colapinto, his future remains uncertain, but if he can continue to build on his momentum and prove his value, he might just find himself in a competitive seat by 2026. The clock is ticking, and while his path forward isn't clear, one thing is for sure: he's not ready to give up on his dream of F1 success. Alpine, with its ambitious plans, could provide him the platform to showcase his skills and contribute to a team that is set to challenge for the title in just a few years.